Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow region, where I actually live. I'm actually about 50 kilometers from Moscow today, and I thought, based on a previous video I made showing a brand new electronics store, I thought I'd come and show you the local one in my town. We actually have a small shopping center right behind me, and I thought it might be interesting just to show you the differences between what they have in Moscow and what we have here in Moscow region. And I think it might be interesting for a few people. The town where I live is called Aprelevka. It's in the southwest of Moscow. Like I said, 50 kilometers from the center of Moscow as the crow flies. This is Lenin Street, and there is a Lenin Street, I think, in every town in Russia. And this is Melodia Shopping Center. And this is my local shopping center. And this is very much a suburban, small shopping center. However, it is actually 3 levels high. And then across the road, you can see the train station. This will take you into Moscow. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the train that you catch. And then all around this area of the train station is little small businesses. There's some cafes, some takeaway food shops that sell more local, regional food. There's even an optician's. There's a beer shop. There's a takeaway barbecue place, which we've been to quite a few times. And then Melodia. Now, when I first came to this town, this wasn't even here. Now you can see the musical notes on the side. That references Melodia, the name of the shopping center. However, this town was famous throughout all of Russia as the manufacturing hub of vinyl records. And you can actually see on the logo of the building a record player. And I think there isn't a person in Russia that doesn't have vinyl records in their house or apartment that was made at the nearby factory here. What we want to go and see is an electronics store, a little bit more modernized. I don't even think they sell a record player in there. The electronic shop we're going to go to is called DNS, and the previous video that I made was a place called M-Video, and they're sort of rivals in Russia, but they've got thousands of shops between them spread over the entire country, and it's up on the 2nd level. So I think we'll walk inside the shopping center, just have a brief look at what they have and what my local regional shopping center looks like. We do actually have a supermarket in here called Ulitsa. Interestingly, I haven't made a video in this store before, and this is the lower ground floor. There is a jewelry shop and a pet shop right by the entrance. If I want to do some scratch lottery, I can. And this shopping center doesn't have very many federal chain stores. It's mostly smaller businesses and privately owned shops. Need some nuts, perhaps some ice cream. There is a small coffee shop. They recently opened a small bank here, which is really nice because we've only got a couple of different bank branches here in Aprelevka. There is a fish place right here where you can get some fresh and frozen fish, depends on what you want. And then this part of the shopping center is 2 levels, and then the connected area is 3 levels. So there is everything that you need, and with that very local community feel. Generally, if you go shopping more than once here, people remember you and recognize you. Need a battery for your watch. Maybe you need some sunglasses or perfume. And they've got a little bit of everything. There is actually a Russian KFC tucked in the back over there. The Rustics. And then everything that you need for your everyday life without having to go into Moscow to a bigger shopping center. This is considered a small shopping center, believe it or not. Generally, when I come to this shopping center, the main 2 places I go to is the Rustics and the supermarket. And I've just noticed they've got a VTB branch, which is actually the bank that my wife has an account with, and I don't know if she knows this is open. And there's an ATM here now, which is really nice. And there is a small market right here with these little pop-up stores. Now these are all permanently here. But they've got all of the food items that you might want. There is a bedding shop, and then even a candy shop here with all of the imported items. And if you're from England, have a look right there, Maltesers. Although they claim not to be anywhere in Russia, you can get them. There is another supermarket in here, and this is actually a local gentleman who owns 5 of these in this region only, and it's predominantly goods that are from Belarus and the CIS countries. And I have made a video in this store. You can get some fruits and vegetables. And there's actually a second pet shop which opened a couple of years ago. However, they've got everything you need. And these fruit vendors and markets, they generally order smaller amounts, and they're more fresher than supermarkets. I don't know how to describe it that way. You can get some cakes and food, everything that you possibly need in this small shopping center. It's really interesting in the years that I've actually lived here in Aprelevka that I've not made a video about this shopping center. Now I really want to show you the electronics store, which is where we're going to head up to. And I've not filmed this place at all. I generally go to the places that are in the center of Moscow or in some of the suburban areas. So it's nice to actually show something that's a little bit more local to where I live. Now, if you don't know me, I'm from Australia, but I've lived here in Aprelevka for quite a few years, and I'm just going up the escalator. So I hope you enjoy the channel and this video. If you are a long-time watcher of the channel, I did recently make a video about a fixed price store where everything was 99 rubles. And people asked me about a shop called Fixed Price. And this one's actually called Galamart, which is another brand where they've got low price items and cheap items. And the prices are all over the place, but it's very much an inexpensive shop where you've got one of everything. Generally, half of the things you didn't need, you end up going home with something. There is a Familia here, which is a very large clothing store, accessory store. If you're from America, it's very similar to Ross or Marshall's, where they put everything on the displays by size, and then men's and ladies. This is very similar to Marshall's, if you've been to one in America or not. And the one interesting little place right here, and depending on when you come here, it's either crowded or empty. I think actually they're closed over their lunch break right now. This is where you can come if you've got problems with your apartment or house and your water bill, electricity bill, and things like that. And this is a small regional office of the administration, and they're placing them in shopping centers to make them more accessible for everybody. And you don't have to go to the bigger administration buildings, and you can just come to a local shopping center and deal with your challenges with the local administration. I am heading towards the electronics store, and that was my main focus of this video. It's almost becoming a shopping center tour. Somebody did ask about arts and craft shops. Now, they don't have big, large ones, but they've got one here that's actually a little local, smaller version, where you can buy all of the things for arts and crafts, painting, needlework, and things like that. There is actually a laundromat right there where you can leave your jackets. There's a bookshop off in the distance. Originally, when this place opened, there was just one cafe called Beer and Fire Grill, and that was the only one in here for a very long time. And then we got blessed with KFC and Burger King. It's another clothing store. And then this is a place called My Document, which is another place where you can come and deal with paperwork, and even if you want to apply for a passport or anything to do with your house or ownership of property. And again, what they're doing, they put them in shopping centers to make them more accessible to everybody. You don't have to go to a building, you don't have to feel that you're in the government buildings and businesses. So this is a small shopping center, and it feels quite a lot bigger when I walk around showing it on camera. If you compare it to some of the larger ones in the city, but there's still, I have to say, there's more than 100 businesses in here. And this is where we want to come to. It's called DNS, and this is a electronics store, and it actually does focus a lot more on computer products, and that's where they started out really many years ago, and then they've branched out into a lot more general home goods. And we'll have a bit of a wander around and see what we can find. The one thing that they're doing a lot with these different electronic stores and homeware shops is they're making them smaller, and they're giving you more opportunity to order things online that can be delivered to your house, or you can deliver it for pickup here at the store. So you can browse through their entire collection of things on the website, or even you can order from the staff here anything you want. And they've got all of the iPhones up there, and they're really allowing you to shop from their full line, and even if it's not in this shop, they'll bring it here for you to pick up. One of the larger differences, or bigger differences, I think, with these sorts of shops is they want to get every single model of product out that they can and get everything on display. And then you've got a lot of things to choose from, almost too many things in a way. They've got a lot of accessories and a lot of things for computers and phones. It's really, for a small shop, it's more than adequate for the things that you want, that you don't have to make a trip to Moscow. And you can walk in here and find all of the generic brands, all of the branded products. For instance, the Samsung cables are right there, or whichever brand that you might want. And they also have pretty much all of the branded products as well. Well enough. Headphones. Actually, I was going to walk around this way and just show all of the computer monitors and how many you've got to choose from. I actually bought my computer monitors from DNS, and they actually picked them up at another nearby location. But I just ordered them online and then had them for pickup at the store. And this is all of the computer items. I think these are all the cases up the top here. And you've got all the fans. So you could literally buy every individual item to build a computer here. So all of the things like the power supplies, and then all of the, I'm not sure, are they processors, fans, coolers, all of the different cables. And actually, if you look in the back here, you'll see these little cubes. This is where people have actually done online orders for pickup from this store. And you can actually have something for pickup at any store throughout Russia if you didn't want to come to your local one, for instance. And you can actually do the purchase of the items right there on the screen. It's very straightforward. And the other thing people love with these stores is the staff and how helpful they are and how knowledgeable they are about everything under the sun. I didn't realize how many printers they've got here. It's the only thing I'm missing at home. All of the switches and Wi-Fi routers. So even for a regional electronics store, They have probably even more than I realize. Normally when I'm walking in, I know what I want, and I'll go straight to look for that. They've got a whole aisle of just mouses. Is it mice if there's more than one? Even the keyboards as well. So you've got plenty of things. And then DNS as a brand is well established in Russia. People know these stores. They'll prefer to shop here because of their selection of products. Even all the things for streaming as well. The fancy light bulbs that you can use with your phone apps. It's really interesting when I come in to make videos at places, and this is local to me. I've been in here quite a few times. I generally don't come in just for a wander around. I'll always come in when I want something. I didn't realize how many models of laptops they have in this store. Now these are all one pieces right up here, then they'll have the back stock in their storeroom. They've got quite a lot of choices for a small electronics store. And then you've got then the selection of home goods. Do we really need to choose from 40 different vacuums? Someone tell me. Or 30 different irons. Also got some sewing machines there. So there is a very nice selection. These robot vacuums. Actually, there's even more laptops on the other side as well. Now, what I just came to buy is one of these coolers for my laptop, the fans that blow from underneath. Because I'm finding with my computer being on so much, it's struggling with the temperature. My wife was with me here recently, and she's just walked on home ahead of me now. And I thought I would come back and make a video. The previous one that I made, going back about a month ago, was a brand new store. And a lot of people will probably question that new shops will have more choices, or it'll be better and bigger. And with the online shopping craze around the world, of course, lots of people here in Russia do shop online. They do order things for delivery and pickup. And you don't necessarily need such large shops anymore, because you can order things online. And these shops exist like this in this smaller format, so that you can still come and look at things and touch and feel things. And you don't have to, just look at pictures on a screen. The actual staff here will even sell you things that aren't in the shop that you can order. So you still get the customer service, they still get their incentives, and they're still happy at the end of the day because you've not walked out and just ordered it somewhere else. How many types of these stick mixers do we need in Russia? It's really fascinating. The more I walk around this shop, the more I see, and more I didn't know we had in my local electronics store. Even these grinders as well. So they could display a couple of them and then tell you the rest are online, but they have them all on show. I have actually bought the power cable from here before, and I just noticed somewhere there's the TV mounts that we recently put in our apartment. PS4, PS5 games. And for the ladies, I was just thinking, is this Dyson? Maybe this is the China version. There's a lot of very similar products now after Dyson came up with their brand. Even the amount of TVs in here is more than enough to choose from. They always play these very nice 8K videos when you go to the shops. I think it's a standard anywhere. And they've got them playing so you can have a look and compare them. So there is lots of different models and brands. I know for our apartment, we've still got a very old TV that my wife had for many years. And we were thinking of replacing it, but we're sort of limited to the width of the wall space where we can hang it. So there is a size that suits everybody. Have a look at the surf on the video there. Very cool. It's really interesting, and I know I'm repeating myself, when I just walk around a little bit slower and notice all the things in this shop that doesn't need me to go to a large place somewhere else. And even I was thinking of getting a new mouse at some point, and there's that entire row of them over there. There's probably 100 different mouses. So there's quite a lot on display. Oh, these crepe makers, is that what they're called? These are very cool. We actually had one of these in Australia, these like George Foreman grill style things. If you are interested in looking up the information about this store, I will put a website link in the description, and I'll actually even put a pin and map location of this particular shopping center, in case anybody's wondering where it actually is. From here, the actual shopping center looks really big, and I think when I first moved here, and I came here quite a lot because it's just down the road from my house, you know, it feels so large, and there is every shop that I need. Also the government businesses if I need to do documents or query something. And I think I take for granted what I have so close to my house, walking distance, rather than the need to travel an hour and a half to the other side of Moscow to go to something that's very similar, but just bigger. So I think I'm very fortunate that here in Moscow region, we've got nice provincial shopping centers. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I actually need to go off and grab something from another shop down the road. And I hope you found this interesting. And to show you what a electronics store looks like in a regional part of Russia. Now, if I was to go a few thousand kilometers to the far east, I can find shopping centers just like this. I can find DNS stores just like this. And I can buy things in the store. I mean, I personally am not a very big fan of online shopping. I like to go to physical places. I like to be helped by the staff. I like to touch and feel something that I'm buying and be given an honest opinion of one item versus another. And that's why I like coming to these shops personally. I'm not into the ordering online for delivery what is it called? When you go down the rabbit hole of the internet. So I hope this was an interesting video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Post a comment. Let me know how this shopping center or this store compares to where you live and the availability and assortment of items. And if you want to follow me on Telegram, you can click this link. I post lots of things every day when I'm not making videos. And then if you want to watch an old video on the channel, actually I'll link the supermarket downstairs that I actually came shopping with my wife in. You can check that out right after this. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.